to map an employee journey. While being very precise in identifying the various touchpoints, quantified, it is key to manage the employee experience, based on employee perceptions and points of view, and able to set action priorities. To achieve this, we start with your employee verbatim comments collected through your employee surveys. This material is by far the richest, most qualitative, fundamentally experience-driven, and available in great numbers. It's very simple. For example, take Matthew responding to a survey on his level of satisfaction of his company. He is asked to rate his experience and to explain the reasons behind the grade. He points out 3 facts. We just identified 3 touch points. Matthew mentions his recruitment. Jane too has an opinion about the recruitment process, just like other employees who have something to say about the recruitment process and about other key moments. This is how verbatim comment after verbatim comment, touch point after touch point, we map the employee journey and organize it thematically. Now let's quantify that. First element, occurrence. It shows the percentage of employees who mentioned each touch point. It's what the blue bubbles show. We can see that some touch points are much more commented on than others. Second element, the blue bars. They show the intensity of the speech from the most engaged employees, the promoters. The height of the blue bar measures the intensity of the employees' involvement when they talk about the touch points. They can be extremely involved, a high bar, or hardly affected, a small bar. It measures the engagement potential of each touch point. The same logic applies to the red bars. They show the intensity of the speech, but from the most dissatisfied employees, the detractors. The depth of the bar measures the virulence of the employee's criticism. It's the risk of disengagement. Third element, the yellow man. It shows the epicenter of the speech from all employees for each touch point. It shows how the company is performing today. If the yellow man is within the red area, it means that the company is not very good on this specific touch point. If it is within the blue area, it's performing well. High in the blue bar, it's excellent. After quantifying, let's prioritize. How can we identify the 4 or 5 touch points on which the actions have to be directed? Here are a few keys to understand how to read the numbers with 4 typical situations. First situation, a huge occurrence bubble, but a tiny blue bar and a tiny red bar, meaning that even the most engaged employees are not getting excited by this touch point, and even the most dissatisfied ones are not that vociferous. Conclusion: no need to invest on this touch point, although very much commented on. The employee engagement potential is low, as is the risk of disengagement. Second situation, a high blue bar with a small occurrence of only 2%. That means that a best practice has been identified, infrequent but with a real impact on employees. Conclusion: this is a best practice, driving employee engagement, which needs to be deployed from 2% of occurrence today to 20% or even 30% tomorrow. Third situation, a very deep red bar with a tiny occurrence, meaning that an intense frustration has been identified, an employee insight with a high involvement but hardly commented on, because only a few employees are able to articulate comments on this issue. Conclusion: it is a weak signal, which allows to identify emerging expectations and therefore opportunities for new services or new practices. Fourth and last situation, a big occurrence bubble with significant red and blue bars while the yellow man stands within the red area, meaning that this situation is widespread and with a bad average level of satisfaction as the yellow man is in the red. However, when the company is doing well, employees get truly engaged, and when it performs poorly, their engagement is deeply impacted. Conclusion: this is a major priority project according to the tremendous improvement potential. Resources and investments need to be directed towards this touch point. And behind the high blue bar, we have a wealth of verbatim comments from enthusiastic employees who provide us with a ready-made recipe which just needs to be followed. Therefore, the idea is, among all the touch points, to identify those able to make a true difference, able to drive engagement, those with a strong proven impact on employee satisfaction, which have the power to transform the proposed experience.